think we're on the internet. I think we're on the internet. I think this is working. Can I just fade? Oh, yeah. That's so cool. I'm learning how things work that I've had for 2 years and never touched. All right. Oof, indeed. Welcome back, everybody. I am Rookzer0. It is the free draw flash viewer suggestion today. It's a little early. I'm not going to start taking suggestions until 10:30. And I think we're going to try to take them differently today. I don't know if we want to do it as a poll or if we just want... Basically, I want to spend more time and less drawings because I tend to just try to burn through a whole bunch, and I'm not sure if that's the way I want to do it anymore. So we'll figure that out. We do have the cat cam today. There's a very sleepy Skip Cat on his poof. Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. How much space do I have to like move in here and ship stuff around? There we go. You are not on the internet today, no. Today it's just me and the Skip Cat. Which is just going to be a lot of cat butt, apparently. So, you know, take that with whatever. But, yeah. We're here. We're on Aggie. There's a link in the Discord if you'd like to join me today. I hope people can hear me. I've been fiddling with my mic settings. I might still be quiet. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's see if that blows out the speakers. I'm not hitting the red peaks, and so I'm wondering if that on YouTube, that's still too quiet. We'll try that. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. So let's do that. We'll turn that up all the way. We'll go from there. We'll see how that does. Whoa, there we go. I should really do like a short how to draw rugby one of these days. He real simple. Yeah, exactly. There's so many different ways to do it too. It's like a Picasso painting. Yeah, Jonas's weird sock puppet way. Ghost Rugby. Ghost Rugby is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with Ghost Rugby. Oops. That's a thing I can do, apparently. That's not how that works. That one's pretty good. Oh, I can have two queued up. That's even better. That's even better. Oh, I can have multiples set up. Alright. I can have halfsies and just leave it there. Alright. Anyways. Congratulations on figuring out day one stuff. 230 some episodes in. Here we go. Here we go. Might be a quiet Wednesday. This has been a very quiet week. It is Wednesday, right? I hope it's Wednesday. Oh, really? We've had a lot of rain. I wonder how many people think I live in Kentucky because we talk about Kentucky all the time. I don't live in Kentucky, but I know the weather there now because of Corvus, so I appreciate that. Seattle? Yeah, I don't know what to call Seattle. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, but in like southern Idaho. Ooh, I don't like that. Whenever the compressor on my mini fridge turns on, it sends an energy wave through my headphones because the camera is plugged into that socket. I need to not plug it into that socket. That's an unforeseen. Yeah, I need actually, maybe that would fix it if I put a surge protector on that wall. I should probably do that. I don't have a readable fix without just shutting stuff down and starting over, which is an option. I just realized now I can't see the YouTube chat. How long have I been not seeing the YouTube chat? Nebby, hello! I'm like, it's so quiet. What's happening here? Yanti, Pole, hello, Twitch. Hey, Corvus, howdy. No Twitch today. I asked if there was a Noel Glamour Bard. Some very nice clothes. I asked if the... running over Raptor. But who's counting? Yeah, so, I guess we could just go back into it normally, right? Like, that's fine. Let me pop up the chat so I can see it. I got so used to Twitch being sent to the Discord that I forgot that YouTube doesn't have that. That would not be a hard fix. But that's definitely a thing I might have to ask my mods about. So, basically what I'd like to do today, instead of me, like, writing everything down all over the place, I'm going to write it on the screen so people can see it. Glamour Bard. I don't know how to spell. O-U-R. Glamour. Maybe this is a bad idea. I don't want people to know how badly I spell things. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to do a poll or if we should just like collectively create a character. The viewer suggestion is fun, but it's been taxing me because it's fine. It really is fine. I like the idea of drawing people's characters, but the inconsistency of having sometimes it's like 20 things to draw, and sometimes it's like 5. I want to find a way to make it more. We probably won't change anything today, but I'd like to find a way to make it more consistent. Yeah. Some people suggested I put up basically slots the night before on the comment section or something on YouTube, so like people can suggest that, but then I feel like those people that show up to the stream might not actually get their stuff drawn. So yeah, it's something. The other thing I was thinking about is just maybe when I do the viewer suggestion, I just have so many slots open. If I'm like 3 Patreon members have slots, like 3 Twitch members or subscribers have slots, and then like 5 slots for the YouTube channel. And then you like prioritize. If you're a member, you get a slot for free every week. Because like I'll do that, right? We technically already do that right now. Like all the Patreon members, if they ask for stuff, I just like make sure they get theirs done 100%, even if they're not in the chat. But yeah, like I guess if we get on Twitch, I could do it later on Twitch, and then any of the subscribed members could get a suggestion. But once again, it's not changing how we do it. It's just like it's just kind of, I think it queues up people. So like if you are a member, you're like, oh yeah, I get a suggestion. Maybe they'll remember to come to the stream. And then we just make sure that all the people that way get first pick, and then if there aren't enough, we add more. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of in the mindset of trying to give more benefits to members and subscribers without punishing people that, can't do that, because I don't want to do that. Glamour Bard. Yeah. Whenever I think Glamour... Excuse me. Frogs. Whenever I think Glamour Bard, I just start thinking of, like, giant poofy hats. On a knoll. Yeah, they didn't say what would race. Oh, they did. Well, I just can't read. Ranger, though. Nebby, what are you going on about? Glamour Bard, that's also a Power Ranger. Hello, hello. 5 Glamour Bards would be pretty interesting. Inferno. That's a good idea. Yep. I played a little bit of... What the hell is it called? No. This is kind of off topic. Sorry. I just remembered something I wanted to talk about. Shoot. I will have to ask the people I played with what it was. But it's basically like Pictionary, but in Discord. We played it in Discord, which was fun. That could also be a fun thing to do on some of these days, because like there are some days when people don't want to draw in Aggie, and so it's like I wonder if it was more of a game if people would play and draw with me versus doing the viewer suggestion. I do like the viewer suggestion, but it keeps me limber. I've drawn something that is very much not a knoll. I've drawn like some kind of Scruff McGruff Beethoven. I thought you were making suggestions for a group character. Oh, yeah, see, that could be fun too, Nebby. I think that would be it. So we could try that today too. Let's see if we can make a character up here. Everybody gets one suggestion, and we'll throw it in a pit, and then we'll figure it out. So Nebby, do you want Ranger to go in there for you? Everybody gets to add one D&D word to the box. I will let you retract Ranger if you'd like. God damn it. I forgot that you're all giant trolls, and I maybe shouldn't do this. I don't remember what gnolls look like anymore. Draw a peen. Give it a square head. Give it ears. Is that what gnoll ears look like? I think that's what gnoll ears look like. There we go. Okay, I figured it out. They have the giant muzzles. Yeah. What were you going to add, Corvus? Tall. A boar. All right. A tall were-boar thigh green. Oh God, that's not just ending well. Yeah, I'll roll for it later. Except, yeah, I mean, like, how much of the, like, you know what? I would still give them the multiple arms. I would definitely do that. I would just make a werewolf with 6 arms. That would be pretty dope. I think. Yep, I think that's how I'd rule it, though. Because, like, I think the were should affect you, but you should still retain a good chunk of your yeah, unless you have the curse that is like you turn into a wolf. I think you should retain most of your original thing and then just add the thing on there. So you'd still have 6 arms, but they would be wolf arms with claw attacks, which is pretty awesome. The round cam to... Oh, can you guys not see the kitty cat? Oh, I understand. Yeah. We'll put it down here. No one needs to see rugby. Whoop. And transition. All right. Do hyenas have round noses? I thought they had pointy noses. They have shorter muzzles for sure. That's something else I just screwed up. Could also be World of Warcraft nose. Somewhere between Bry and Jump Rope, I am inundated with otter videos, and I constantly just hear the otter squeak in my head. And when I think of hyenas, they also have that like sound adjacent thing because of the hyena chuckle. But right now, I just instantly have that otter whine in my brain. Yep. What was it? It's not a ventriloquist per se, but they like imitators. Is that what it was? There used to be a bunch of comedians and stuff that could imitate. Did you watch Arcane? LOL thing. I haven't yet. Is it any good? Is it actually out? All right. Is it a series or a movie? Nice. Oh, weird. I will wait until it's out all the way then. Yeah. I hope they do a good job. Like, Riot has had a pretty good animation studio for a while. And, oddly enough, they come up with some good stories and some really, like, shit stories. So I think they picked a good one, and I just hope they kind of stick to it and not try to cram every character in there. Because, like, a lot of them don't overlap. They just do not overlap. Bri, hello. Thank you. Thank you. You heard me talking about otters, didn't you? I've watched 2 episodes and I'm enjoying it so far, but I don't really think about LOL, so I'm not missing stuff. Yeah, oh, you feel like you are missing stuff. That's a bummer. Yeah, so League was really cool when, like, I played it in beta, and something they tried to add, it's like every week they would have the weekly newsletter that would have lore in it, and that was really cool. Like, there were a lot of my friends were really into that. And so they built really cool backgrounds and stories for a lot of their characters. But a lot of them didn't really overlap that much. Yeah, getting pulled into the Summoner's Rift was kind of like the end thing, but Yeah. Like, yeah, like some of the cool stuff they did was, sorry, I just lost all of my chat because I had an email I had to answer. Can you do an Oni Ninja? Oh, I see. You're just breaking the rules right away. No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll write down Oni Ninja. I have to make a new layer, and I'm going to label it Oni Ninja. And we'll come back to it. This one is Glamour Bard. Okay, let me finish this up. Yeah, no, the League had a really cool idea of basically building a world, and all of their characters fit in that world, which is really great. And it did lead to some cool interactions. Like, it added to different effects, but like also some of the creatures just didn't make sense to really interact with each other at all times. And so I hope as they're making the TV show that they don't forget that they're not in Summoner's Rift. Like, I would be totally fine if we only learn about V and Jinx, right? Because they had a good story. They made the characters at the same time. The characters are supposed to be related, and it's great. And it's like, cool. That's a cool story. Let's hear about it. Do we need to hear about, Cho'Gath and Kog'Maw just trying to devour everything because they're from the Void? Like, that's not super dynamic. It's a cool character thing, but like, I don't see a story there that I care about, right? I love those characters. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about. That's what I'm most worried about, is like the need for adding Teemo and stuff. It's like, you don't need to. You really don't need to. Teemo's a scout. He's doing his own thing. I don't need to know how badass he was. I freaking love Teemo. Yeah, I mean, so that's something I think I would like to pause and say is like, I hope the Summoner Rift doesn't exist in the universe. That's kind of my argument, is that the game itself, whenever you have a game of something, it's okay for the game to not need to be in the universe. Like, a good example of that is like the World of Warcraft. I can't think right now. Arathi Basin is not a game. Like, it's very much one storyline. So you play it once, and it's like, cool, we understand it now. But it's repeatable because of game mechanics. Versus something like Wakfu, which is so ingrained in being a game that the meta of the game actually shows up in the show. And that's okay. It's funny. But like with League of Legends, Summoner's Rift is kind of so out of place with their world. Because it's like, oh, the leader of these two warring nations have come to play basketball. It's like, stop it. Like, we don't need that shit. Just tell us the story of the world. Like, I'm totally happy with that. So yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't need to feel the need to engage in that meta way, right? Like, ha ha ha, it's a game. It's like, just tell us the story, man. Like, I want to hear more about this world. Right, but that's basically what they've been doing when they release characters, which is great. Like, those are really good. They did a really good job of that already. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, I hope it's really good. I don't really have a saying it's bad. I hope they handle it with, I hope they handle it with a let it be its own thing, right? That's really all it is. Like, really let it be a good story and a good show on top of being attached to a game. Or you end up with the Doom movie and then like, let's go first person for a little. It's like, stop it. Stop it. Oh, they're charging their ultimate counter. It's like, we don't need to hear you say that. Stop it. We get it. They have a cool move. I can only place 3 mushrooms down at a time. It's like, stop explaining the game to me in the show. Yu-Gi-Oh! Get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out. Alright, there's the clamor part. I don't know what else to do with that. I'm going to have to sit on that one for a little bit. I'm not going to do the community thing because it's just too confusing right now until we figure out what we're doing. Are they still making a D&D movie? I hope so. Wakfu is a surprisingly good show. For what it is, it's so good. Yeah, it's an MMO. French? I think it's a French MMO. If I remember right, or maybe the animation studio is French. Nebby, I know you just suggested something, and Yonti, just a Yonti. Okay, so I will add that right here. Bri, how are you today, by the way? I don't know if Bri's actually around. I said thank you when I got the tip, and then I did not because there's a cat. There's no push-ups because the cat is in my push-up spot. Oddly enough, something I've discovered that, you know how people get really upset about like when subtitles are terrible. Turns out it's not only like Japanese anime. Wakfu is much better if you watch it in the original French. I enjoyed it much more in the original French. I feel like, yeah, I wonder if some old Kung Fu movies do a really good job. But I think that's because they were... Yeah, Simple Stories one, but then also... a lot of, I think they're written knowing that they're going to be in English. And so, like, some of the actors will actually do their own voices, and that helps. I think that helps a lot. Because then they know what and how they said something, and they just, do it again. So I think that definitely helps. Yeah. I can hear you now 50% of the time. Uh-oh. Tibber, what's going on? Why only 50%? Can I make a drawing suggestion or no? Yeah, you can make a suggestion. And yeah, I think you're right, Inferno. I think it really does depend on how they're trying to tell the story. Oof, anatomy broken. No good today. Back to reading 2 chats and it's breaking my brain. Back to reading 2 chats and listening to a conversation in Discord is overloading my head. It's probably not on your end. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if anything, hang out in the try hanging out in the Discord chat. You can try that. I don't know how YouTube works with the stuff. Like, I know Twitch, if you mute yourself on Twitch and then hang out in the Discord, I don't get credit for it. But I don't know how that works on YouTube. Does YouTube care if people are muted or not? Sorry for talking over there, Inferno. I feel bad now. No, my dislike numbers. Gotcha. That makes sense. I very much think the dislike button should be for your own information. Like, there should definitely be a report button for, like, this person is sending dangerous shit. Like, that's not cool. But, right, yeah, you have to flag them. So, like, I don't want to get rid of that. But, like, the dislike button itself is just kind of like, I don't know. Exactly, yeah. Basically, if I ever dislike something, it's like, I do not want to see this anymore. Like, please stop making these videos. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think there definitely needs to be, like, I want the metrics, right? Like, if people don't like something, I want to know about it. So, like, I want people to be able to say that kind of stuff. Like, ugh, this wasn't as cool as the other ones, or I like these better. So that's good. I like that metric. But, like, the fact that likes drive sharing, I'm not a big fan of. It feels a little strange to me. And so, like, the dislikes are the same thing. It's like, people are talking about this video. Let's share it with everybody. But being so nondescript, it kind of adds some weird connotations to it. A Minotaur, Beast, Barbarian, claws, teeth, and horns. Oh my. 2 beasts, sure. Is that your suggestion? Are you a Minotaur, Beast, Barbarian? Is that what I'm getting? I'll assume that's what it is. Okay, so this is supposed to be a ninja, right? Oni ninja. I wonder if people are confused about Skip Cat. There's like, what's that giant round fluff butt on the camera? Yeah, this is just okay. Junk Giant, welcome. That could be fun. Mouse Guard looks really fun. You know what? I'm going to retract that statement, and I'm going to say Mouse Guard is adorable, and they have really cute figures. I know absolutely nothing about how the game is actually played. Was I just... Man Shorts put out a video. Maybe it's an older video. I'm not sure. I saw a video this morning by Man Shorts. That was the barbarian party. Yeah, that was really funny. I feel like I've run into that a few times. But you're doing this to punish us, aren't you? Yes, I am. I like that kind of stuff, especially like when I used to play like Diablo 3. We'd always run through the game, and then after a little while, I'd be like, "Hey, let's try all druids." It's like, okay, and then we would just all try to. I think I accidentally started drawing on the wrong layer. I may have done that. I did. So we're gonna pull that down here. We're gonna go merge down. We'll make another Minotaur layer. Is this still a D20 system? Jack Pegram, hello. Helbin, welcome as well. Yeah, Dr. Random, you can suggest something. Keep talking. Sorry, I just have to talk to the YouTube chat. Okay. Nope. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. You're not... Yeah. Okay. No, I know what you're talking about. How are you? I'm doing well. Migatsuki, hello. Lizard Folk Artificer. I honestly don't know exactly how that works, but I have a vague idea, so... Yeah. But they have a minimum, like basically everything is you start the game with so many abilities, right? Like you can only make one of these 4 rolls. Is that correct? You know what? Just send me a link and I'll look at it later. There's no reason for us to try to... You're explaining it to me and no one else knows what the hell I'm talking about because I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll have to look at it later. Because I guess I'm thinking of Apocalypse. I think I'm thinking of system. Is a D6 system, though. I think it's closer to like Vampire the Masquerade. But maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of... Maybe I'm conflicting some things together. Yeah. Okay, so here's the Oni Ninja. I gave him a 2 bamboo handled. I really like these knives. Little wooden cased. Tantos? Is that what that? I like these. I really like those. They look really nice. One of these days, I'll be rich enough to buy unnecessary swords. Yeah, you could. You could. But I can buy a much cheaper version of a chef knife that's probably better. So I've done that. I've done that many times. I'm a weird... Since I've gotten older, or I should say, as I've gotten older, I've always kind of been, I need to buy something only if it is right for the job. And I've started deciding that if I'm going to buy something that's for a job, I'm going to make sure I get something that's good and perfect for it, and then as cheap as possible. But following the first two things have to make sense, right? So, a wakizashi. Yes, there we go. Wakizashi. Tiny. Well, so like the wakizashi is the tiny katana, right? Yeah. There's a great movie called The Sunset Samurai about a guy who is specialized in wakizashi combat, which is really cool. It's a good movie. I highly recommend it. Kobold Fighter. Yeah. And I think the Tontos are actually straight bladed is the other yeah. I just love the square bamboo case that like matches the handle. Like, oh, that's so slick. Like, it's so nice. It's so beautiful. I would absolutely have one of those in my kitchen knife drawer knife. Tanto is the blade. Yeah, Tanto I think is the straight bladed with this. And then this might just be a knife. It might just be a knife that is a Tanto. Because there's also square blades. And then there's the chef knife. And then there is the butcher knife, which is a rounded tip. And then there's a fillet knife. I know all kinds of stuff. Anywho. Oddly enough, the square knife is not a cleaver. The cleaver is a cleaver, which is, I think it has to have a recessed handle. Otherwise, it is something else. It might be a machete if it's this. What are we talking about? Someone suggested something. Lizard folk. I got that one written down. Kobold Fighter. That's what I was trying to do here. Kobold Fighter. If people would like to draw with me today, there is a link in the Discord. People are welcome to draw. The Oni Fighter is done, so let's get that out of the way. Oni Ninja. And then I gotta go back up here to the Yonti. The Yonti! The ninja is not a fighter. The ninja is a ninja. Hey, Rookzer0, what player class would rugby be least likely to have? Why would he not be a cleric? Make me that argument. Maybe. Rugby is full of surprises. That's all I'm going to say. Least likely to be, huh? That is a tough one. I guess druid? Least likely to be a druid because he is goblin. No, you know, he could still have druid magic without having to transform into stuff. So, but I would still... Yeah, Wildfire Druid's funny. I do think Druid or Paladin probably, because I think Corvus, you're on the right track of like Cleric maybe not being right for him, but only really because I have basically inflected or inferred that he is very arcane in nature. Like there is lots of arcane things happening there, so somewhere around there. Does he worship any deities? Now you're trying to trick me into answering questions about rugby that I'm not going to do, so... The world may never know. Every serious home chef needs a Japanese chef knife. I agree with that. I do want a really good sushi knife, but they are too expensive for how little I make sushi, so... Yeah. Yeah, squared off. If you are stabbing yourself with a kitchen knife, there are many things wrong. Still, very, very. One of these days, we're gonna have to do a Rook shows you how to use knives. Yeah. Oof. I don't know if I actually know how to sharpen knives well enough to teach people how to do that. I am able to sharpen them. So back in the day, one of the guys I worked for would effectively let you, if you sharpen one of the kitchen's knives, he would buy you dinner. Like that was the deal. So anybody in the restaurant, regardless of where you worked, if he would sit down and let him teach you how to sharpen a knife, you would then get a free meal. Later, he just like the kitchen staff always got free meals, but that was a way for getting the wait staff and stuff to know how to treat the knives well, which was really cool, and I like that. Yeah, so I know how to sharpen them enough to not piss off the owner of a restaurant, and I take care of my knives. I like them. I use a flat stone. Mika is fine. Okay, thank you. I'd guess rogue. He doesn't seem like a sneaky type. Honestly, he seems more like blow up walls and steal the artifact type. Although, I would argue he's got lots of rogue potential. Partially because, one, you don't know where his hands are at all times. Two, he's always disguised. And three, he's very small. And a goblin. So, who knows? Who knows? I'm not. I watched most of episode 1 and then I haven't come back to it yet. I've been so busy lately. What did I watch? I watched something else instead. Inside Job. That was a pretty good show. I watched that at like 3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep. I think the allergy season has been pushed back because of how hot it's been. And all of a sudden, like, so it went from being really, really hot and dry to just like downpouring here for the last week. So everything is just like jizzing into the air, and it's terrible. It's like there's tons of pressure and dust and crap, and I hate it, and my head doesn't feel great. But cute cat cam. Thank you, S-Muse. How's it going? Cleric of himself of the rug domain. The bugbear. Oh, Cowboy Bebop is so good. Interesting. All right. I would argue that, but that's basically what I watched 10 years ago. When I was younger, I was a huge fan of Murder, She Wrote. That's with Dick Van Dyke, right? Which one am I thinking of? Murder Diagnosis. That's right. That's the one I liked. I watched that one with him. Such a good show. And yeah, the Dick Van Dyke Show was old school. You know, I was not a big Magnum P.I. fan. Yeah, Lansbury, that's right. I did watch that show, too. I did watch that one as well. Yeah, 18 is good. Dude, Mr. T is great. Why do you guys think I have a mohawk all the time? Oh man, Richard Dean Anderson? That's the whole reason I started watching Stargate. That's actually not true. I watched Stargate way before I ever watched any MacGyver. How are you this morning? I'm doing really well. Stargate is awesome. It's really good. Well, the first one. Actually, Atlantis isn't bad either. I don't know if there's any more than that. Wasn't Jason Momoa in Atlantis? Stargate Atlantis. Was that Jason Momoa? I think it was. I think it was a really young him. Let me look. Yeah. Ronan Dex. Biggest sim of life on the allergies things. I'm currently on a 3-day headache streak. Yeah, it's bad. I never got into Stargate. I'm more into Star Wars and high fantasy. Yeah, Stargate is interesting because it starts off kind of low fantasy. Like it's just like, oh, weird aliens, but then it gets just bonkers, like galaxy scale stuff. And it's like, okay, this got weirdly out of hand. I can't draw a snake person today, apparently. I don't know what's going on here. I think I need to start over. Snakes. No, I'm just distracted. I'm distracted by Stargate. Mm-hmm. Yep. Kratos is in Stargate. Yeah, it's good stuff. How do you even have a brush like that? Call hacks. So if you're trying to, my brush, I cheat. I'll show you how. My pressure sensitivity on the size is locked, and then I have the density turned down to 50%, and then have that on my pen pressure. So I actually, yeah. I also have the stabilizer turned down and the hardness all the way up. So I basically have a force round brush. Are you using the pencil? Because there's also the pencil tool, which is hot garbage. Or the brush tool. The brush tool is much better, in my mind. People are talking in the stream chat on YouTube. Am I missing stuff? I'm sorry. Biggest simulator allergies. I never got into Stargate. Most of it Star Wars and high fantasy. Human artificer in a leather jacket and a backpack full of bombs. So many artificers. I can make it funny. I am also talking to people in the voice channel chat on Discord. If people want to hang out over there, you're very welcome to. Do you have any episodes you recommend? Man, I don't remember any of the actual names of the episodes. There are a lot of really good ones, though. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's an episode where they get stuck in a time loop. That one's pretty great. No, not Sliders. Sliders is the... hold on, I gotta find the Yanti. There it is. Are you talking about the show Sliders or the... Or is there a Stargate episode called Sliders? Oh, man. Okay. I'm watching Suits on Netflix. Lawyers is interesting. Cat moved. Oh, yeah. Look at that poof poof. Do Yonti have hair? I can't remember. Like the purebloods do. Oh, that's an interesting point. I didn't think about that. There being Yonti that are like converted people taking this form. I don't know. There is, yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of horrible shit that happens to D&D to make people into weird monstrosities. Yonti, not excluded. Man, if you haven't, okay, so someone, I think Esme's asked like what episode to watch of Stargate. Watch the movie. Watch the original movie. And if that doesn't get you hooked, like, don't worry about the rest of the series. Yeah. Plus, it's Snake Plissken. You can't go wrong with Snake Plissken. It's just before he lost his eye. Ninja of the Sea, welcome. Jump Rope, welcome. Now, see, now you guys are getting into the weird part of the internet that I... Oh yeah, no, Stargate definitely doesn't help your search history when, like, also aliens, question mark? It's like, yeah, I'll watch that video. Why not? Let's find out. Oh, the seasons. There's a whole season for the Norse mythology. The whole race of aliens. It's great. No, yeah, that's one of the reasons I love Stargate, because they find really interesting ways to kind of incorporate stuff that... There's a cartoon series of Stargate? I didn't know this. There was also this is kind of off topic that I didn't realize. There's it's called Roughnecks, but it's a Starship Trooper animated series that came out like 20 years ago. It's 3D animated and it's not great. Do you remember Mummies Alive? There's a cartoon. Yeah, like right around the time the Mummy was coming out, they were like, yeah, people love mummies. What if Ninja Turtles, but mummies? And it's like, yeah, let's do that. Not terrible. I mean, early 2000 cartoon, not bad. I wouldn't recommend watching it, but, you know, at the time, it was acceptable. Oh, Infinity. Okay. No, I've never seen that, but why does he have a jet engine on his chest? When in doubt, add turbines. Okay, this is, I gotta stop this because I could keep filling with this forever. So we're gonna add a weird ponytail, which may or may not be real. We don't know. You don't fucking know. Get out of here. Got a crown and a weird ponytail and a spear. We'll give it a trident. We'll make it a trident, and now it might be a trident. You don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Kobold fighter. Here we go. How dare you? What's this? What do you mean more people are okay with? Like, people don't like the Yonti transforming people into weird snakes? Oh, biologically getting... Gotcha. I have no idea. I can't speak to that because that sounds like hearsay. Things I'm okay with. Being magically cursed into a snake. Not okay with, but is a thing. Having my brain eaten and turned into a mind flayer, I would happily go for the snake monster. Every time. Every single time. We were talking a little bit about... I almost said Loth. Lothcats are a creature in Star Wars, and not what I'm trying to say, which is the weird Loth-cursed spider people. Striders, drow spiders. That's what they're called. Yeah. I was watching someone talk about SG-1. Apparently, Christopher Judd had a really hard time playing Stoic Teal the first season because of his ADD. That's funny. Kept falling asleep during shoots and having 0 speaking lines. From having literally 0 speaking lines. That's funny. I'm glad they made him a more interesting character. Because he is awesome. What do you... Yeah, I shoot things and I am invincible and of character foil for the show. It's like, oh, great. Teal'c is great. Stargate, Farscape, Babylon 5 are highly underrated. They're all great. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't Babylon 5 the same premise as Deep Space Nine, though? Like, they're effectively the same show, just in different universes. Maybe I need to watch more Babylon 5. Yeah, I mean, it's an alien space station, right? Like, that's kind of the whole jam with a military presence that's kind of weird. Very vaguely. If you closed your eyes and squinted, Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine are the same show. Very vaguely. Got way late for a bit. That being said, I've only seen parts of Babylon 5, and I've seen all of Deep Space Nine. So I have no real... I can't really compare them. But from a cursory glance, they seem like the same concept. Bri, welcome back. Can we just all agree that the evil universe in Star Trek is stupid? I'm gonna hot take and just yes. I don't know what that means, but there's the universe where I don't remember that at all. There is, in every series, there's either a transporter accident or something where everyone gets switched to the, I'm going to call it Evil Kirk universe, where everybody just has a goatee. And every series has done at least 1 or 2 episodes of that. And the the Deep Space Nine one was especially annoying because if what happened in the Kirk universe still allowed the Federation to happen, why are the Bajorans still at war, and why is there still, like, there's too many things leading up to that, and it just drives me up the wall, because all of these people still end up in the same spot, and are still just weirdly shitty reverse versions of themselves, and I hate it. It's just like, ooh, it makes me so mad. Like, that's where my salt comes from, is from the evil universe. Evil Kirk universe just drives me up the wall. Because, like, at least that was the plot, right, of the original one. Was like, okay, this universe is just fucking evil. And then they did it again in the new one. They did it in Enterprise. They did it in the Next Generation. And each time it just feels like it's a nod to letting us forget that these characters are characters and that they are actors, and they're like, okay, just play the opposite of your character and have fun with it. It's like, stop doing this shit. Just stop it. Stop what you're doing and just be freaking Picard and leave it alone. Like, ugh, I hate it. I feel like it's more for the actors than the audience, because it always just feels annoying to me. It is. It's a trope. It's definitely a trope now. Yeah. That and, like, musical episodes of shows. Like, let's just do a musical episode. It's like, stop it. That's not Star Wars. That's just 90s television. But it is. It's an homage to letting the actors do their thing. And it's like, fine, I get it. I want my show back. I want the storyline. And I can see Jump Rope fervently typing. Musical episodes are magical. Step back. Yeah, you never saw the Buffy the Vampire Slayer freaking musical episode. That ruined them for me. I've seen every episode of Buffy because it is like, that was the show. That was the show to watch. I watched all of that one. And it technically had plot in it. Like, it is canonical. It's a canonical episode, and it drives me up the wall. It actually answers a lot of questions, which is really frustrating. It's the only Buffy episode I've watched. It's so good. Season 6, episode 7. There you go. Oh yeah. I mean, it's Joss Whedon. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? I guess. I guess I'm cranky when my shows take a hard left turn. It's just like, continue. Yeah. Yep. So, oh man, I can't talk about the new Star Wars, Star Trek stuff. I don't know if I should talk about the new Star Wars stuff. No, the newest show. Can't remember what it's called. No, Picard is great. Picard is great. Is there a new season out there yet? Discovery. Star Trek Discovery. It's not bad. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. But I didn't like... I don't know how much spoilers I want to drop. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's old. The whole second season is evil universe, and it drives me up the fucking wall, right? I stopped watching at season 2 because I was like, ah! And I just flipped the table, and I'm like, done! No, not dealing with this shit. Not dealing with this shit. Picard is really good. I enjoyed Picard a lot. Yeah, I really like Picard. Lower Decks is pretty good. I think they did a good job. It's a new Star... We're talking about Star Trek a lot. It's weird. Why are we talking about Star Trek? I don't know what happened. Set phasers. I was trying to make a Zap Brannigan reference, but I couldn't remember what he actually says. Zap Brannigan. Yeah. Although I refuse to acknowledge the new trilogy, The Mandalorian is rightfully a successor to the Star Wars name. Oh, hell yeah, yeah. The Mandalorian's great. I know nothing of Star Trek. I only have for Star Wars growing up. I was a sci-fi junkie, so I watched all of these things. Well, I thought Ringworld was written by someone different. Pratchett? Oh, Discworld. Okay, that's where I got confused. Got it. Okay, I guess I don't know Ringworld at all then, so. Gotcha. What do I draw? I mean, we have a Minotaur, a Lizard Folk Artificer, a Human Artificer. Yeah. Have fun. Pick one of those. I don't remember what the Minotaur was supposed to be. I actually forgot. Isn't that how streaming works? It's very difficult to find Buffy episodes that are lit correctly now, as they were meant to be seen, as the DVD remastered on screen don't take effect. Interesting. The combined with 90s cringe, I get it's too much for me. Yeah, I mean, Buffy is classic. I'll say Buffy is classic. I don't want to watch it again. Like, I'm good. Beast Barbarian Minotaur. Great. Okay. Although I refuse to acknowledge it. Beast Barb. Don't get me started on science fiction. I'm a huge geek and nerd. Welcome to the club. That's. I don't think you have to be exclusory. So you can definitely prefer one over the other. I think that's fine. Like I'd never be like stupid, but I don't see the comparison. is the problem. Exactly. Yeah. One is a space opera. The other is a like social commentary, which I think is really more interesting, because Star Wars is basically has none of our social constructs. Yes. Oh my God, the Starship Trooper book is so good, and has nothing to do with the movie, and the movie is great. I highly recommend reading the book and watching all the movies. They're so good. Actually, I don't think I've watched the other movies. I've only watched the first one. I think I've seen parts of the second one. Yeah. They really leaned heavy into the bugs. The time they remastered a show so badly, it was dangerous to vampires. I honestly remember watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and most of the time, because I watched it on like an old CRT TV, watching it and not knowing what was going on, because it was just too dark. Oh, yeah. Spike was the sparkliest of vampires, and it's because he smoked too much. He was just very, very, very pale. Halo is half of Starship Troopers and Ringworld. Yeah, I like it. My girlfriend is a Trekkie, and I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. Yeah, I don't see why you can't love both. I think people get mad because, like, they both have Star in the name. Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand. Partially it's sci-fi, right? Like they're all sci-fi. That's where they connect. But I think it really is a failing in the person if someone has to make that distinction. It's like Star Wars is so much better. It's like, shut up. Like you don't have to be an asshole. Like what's wrong with you? Get out of here. I used to complain a lot that like I loved Marvel over DC things. Like I think that's a better comparison, but only because they constantly stole each other's shit. Like it's just like you can directly compare Deadpool and Deathstroke. They are the same. Yeah. And so I think it's fine, but like it's like trying to compare Lethal Weapon and Super Cop. It's like, yeah, they're both kind of cop movies. But they're two very different movies. They're two very different things. And so yeah, I don't know. Like Star Wars really does. It feels more like a Western to me in my mind. And like that's where my head goes when I start looking at like some of my favorite scenes from the animated series and like the old original series of Star Wars is they felt very much like a Western film. Star Trek sometimes has that, but very, very infrequently. And Star Trek very much feels more. They're not trying to be super flashy, and you know, the sword fights that happen are kind of one-offs. And I don't know. It's just different. I just don't know why the Death Star wasn't used to destroy the Borg ships. It's the same. It's the size of a planet. Yeah, the Death Star the scope is definitely different. The scope is definitely different in both of those shows too. Yeah. Well, it's because technology is getting better, so everything gets smaller. I'm going to give him... He's got tusks now. He's got tusks now. I made him look like a hippo. That's not what cows look like. What have I done? There we go. Sorry, I'm not drawing Angus beef for your Minotaur. Give him big old spiky shoulder pads. It's because Angus beef is delicious. Yep. It's because they don't make good milky cows. We use the beef that's supposed to be used for meat, is really what they're saying. Our hamburgers are made out of 100% just old cows. We don't care. Just old. Who would win, the Federation or the Republic? The Republic destroyed itself. I don't know if it would be. The Federation is technically like 12 planets? I don't know. The Republic is like a galaxy, so I don't think those are comparable. Who would win, Texas or Germany? Actually, those are probably pretty comparable. I should have said Texas or the United Kingdoms. Or sorry, the United Nations. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know why I said Germany. Germany is just Germany. Who would win though? Texas or Germany? Which side are the Sith on? The Sith are on all sides. That's different. That's different. Plus, the Federation is technically communist, so. Someone was saying, I think it was in Lower Decks, they were like, you can't send me back to Earth. There's nothing to do there except open small restaurants and make wine. Because that's like the only thing we've seen people do in the Star Trek universe. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's the thing. Like, at a point in the universe where replicators are a thing that exists, it's like, as long as there is power, you literally don't need anything. If a replicator exists, free food, right? Because it's just energy to food conversion. So nobody has to work. Nobody has to do anything. The only people that have to work is to make sure that there is power somewhere. And if you could basically make like a Dyson sphere or a warp core, it's just like, yeah, I guess we're good. You want to open a restaurant? It's like, I kind of want to open a restaurant. It's like, cool, do that, I guess. Texas would smoke Germany. Yeah, that. Something I thought that was really interesting with the Next Generation was they eventually got to a point where they discovered that using warp drive was hurting the universe. And they were like, oh shit, what do we do about that? And then they just glossed over it and never talked about it again. Everyone's just kind of like, exactly, yeah. Social commentary. Yeah. So that's why I like that. But I really love the Star Wars universe for completely different reasons. Because there is no food replication, right? Everything still has to be functional, and has these weird capitalist societies, and like entire planets are now being created because of scrapyards and vice versa, and it's just the shitty universe, and like nobody likes it. Whereas Star Trek is very much this idealistic utopia where people can try to create cool things, and then they run into these places where people are like, I fucking hate this, and it's like awesome. I honestly think you can compare Star Trek and The Expanse. I think those are much closer in relation, whereas The Expanse, basically, aliens were never found, and humanity just kind of just dwindling itself down. Because the same kind of thing started happening where they moved towards the Star Trek universe, but they never discovered replicators, basically. And so while everyone, we'll take care of everybody, everyone is kind of like, there's nothing for us to do, because we just were waiting for transport, because there was no warp drives, and there's no food replication. So it's weird. It's different. I think those are better examples to look at, but maybe not. Maybe Star Wars and The Expanse are better because they are kind of a galaxy far, far away and our universe, and you can compare the two that way. So it's different. Nope, gone Sith, but orange cryo. You could do that. Yeah, I think a Sith could use an orange crystal. They might be hampering themselves a little bit, but you could do it. The Sith are misunderstood. Everybody loves the Sith. I don't get it. I don't get it. Edgelords. Everybody's an edgelord. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it necessarily matters at the end of the day. Where are we at? We need to do a human artificer and a lizard folk artificer. What if we do a human lizard hybrid? It's only 11:30. It's fine. We'll do both. What are you doing out of your cage, lizard man? It's fucking one of my favorite moments of all time. If people have not seen Flash Gordon, I highly recommend it. As soon as Queen starts singing, you're hooked, and then as soon as you see the lizard man get dissolved, you can just turn it off. Like, you don't need to watch it anymore. It's fine. Oddly enough, that universe has Constantine in it, so put that in your brain somewhere. John Constantine could absolutely have saved that lizard man. That's all I'm saying. Chose not to. Possibly not born yet, but whatever. It's fine. Flash. Ah. Flash. Ah. You're talking about the villain from Flash Gordon? Oh. I do not remember his name. It's such a good caller, though. I'm going to give it to the Lizard Man. Ming the Merciless? Alright. I love what they did to his eyebrows. They're like, what if his eyebrows had eyebrows on them? Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's because they were all drawn by the same person. Ah, racism. Overt racism. What was... Yeah, tons of weird stuff. Alita Battle Angel sequel. Maybe we'll get to screw sideboard. I don't. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Alita Battle Angel was pretty awesome. Death Ball. You know what I was really sad with was what the hell was it called? The stupid Thousand Planet thing that came out a little while ago. There are tons of really good universes that just kind of get one or two bad throws at the movie and then just like forgotten. The old Sith Lords were honorable and sensible, just prone to rash choices. Yeah, I mean, I think you got the right there. The dark side isn't evil; it's just selfish, and they take things to their will. Yeah, I mean I like that. I think we saw the Star Wars universe at a point basically after the collapse, right? A lot of the games are pretty cool. Because yeah, I mean there was a huge war between the Sith and the Jedi forever, but those were like two huge religious factions that controlled the universe. We saw it after the decline of that, the building up of the Republic, and then the collapse of that. So we're seeing like a third tier civilization. I would love to see more content pre Old Republic or Old Republic, right? Like the video games were great, and they showed you this kind of great civilization building situations, and the war that broke out from the Jedi and the Sith were very much, I think, kind of like that was a collapse. Before that, you could definitely work together as a Sith and the Jedi, and just disagree with each other. And then there was the schism, and then everything else that happened. Yeah, because like the rules about like separation and not following your feelings were all because of that war, right? Like so you could, and I think that was an interesting point with the new series that kind of people glossed over because they like that changes stuff. I don't like it, but that was the thing with I think with Rey reading the books and interpreting them differently was that like the Jedi did need to kind of die because they had gone in a path that wasn't sustainable. It keeps breeding to this conflict. So mm-hmm. Yep. And so I think that's where things have to get back to, and I'd like to see some older Star Wars stuff because like technology stagnated, which was interesting. Like the only real technology upgrades you saw were in like some of the spaceships, but like the weapons weren't getting better, and like moisture farming had been the way to do it on certain planets for thousands and thousands of years. Like there was no real innovations except from like the lightsabers getting smaller and more powerful. So you can go back quite a ways in the Star Wars universe and not a lot changes, which is really interesting. Oh man, yes. That's what we need. We need more Firefly. Well, we don't need more Firefly. We need more Firefly universe stuff, which once again is the same universe as the Buffy, so I guess maybe we don't. It's fine. For those of you who have not read the Wheaton universe, go do that. It all makes sense. Hey, technology had to advance somewhere, right? It's not my fault. Dr. Horrible's the one that created the reactors that allowed the starships to fly. Not to mention, you also have to incorporate Cabin in the Woods, which is like the linchpin. So I could definitely see chronologically Buffy, Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, Cabin in the Woods, Firefly. Like, it makes sense. It's fine. It's just a chronological problem. You create a freeze ray. The freeze ray allows for fusion to happen. Now you have hyperdrives. A whole bunch of teens don't bang and blow up the planet because of marijuana. Don't ask me how that happened. We'll go watch Cabin in the Woods if you're old enough. It'll all make more sense. Spoiler alert. Robo Lizard. Yep. I'd love a Star Wars anime movie or series. That is out on Netflix right now. You can go watch that. Yep. They just did that. That's in Visions, right? I think. What was the other one they just, or maybe? Oh, I just. Yeah. There's one or two I think in there that are Visions. I was also thinking of the Bright series that just came out. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, it's just a movie. It's not a show. Damn it. No, if you do want Star Wars anime though, definitely check out Visions. I think that would be cool. I need to watch all of it. I haven't watched it. I've just seen little clips of it. Yep. I want more of a connected story, you know? Sure. Sure. I highly recommend Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, the extended universe is I don't think you necessarily need it because it was kind of a shit show anyways. Like, effectively it was all just fanfic anyways, and people would argue about whether or not to include stuff because, like, that's stupid, that shouldn't be in that my story. It's like, just stop. It's fine. Did you read this book? Yeah, I didn't like it. Done. Like, that's it. It's fine. Oh yeah. Even the new ones, like, I mean, nothing. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I really enjoyed Clone Wars. I think Clone Wars is still one of my favorite Star Wars things. Clone Wars was good. I definitely think The Mandalorian is probably one of the. Yeah, like that. I think that was a really good telling of the universe, right? I think they tried to do something more gritty because, I mean, the Star Wars universe is kind of a shit show. Like, it's not a good place. Yeah, there's just too much going on. Yeah, I think the most important thing to really think about when you're looking at the Star Wars universe is like we're all focused on the Jedi and the Sith because it's like, ooh, magical people, but everybody you meet doesn't give a shit about them. Like Han Solo is just like, great, fucking space wizards, cool. Like, yeah. I should rewatch Rebels. Yeah, like that was the cool thing. We went through and tried to watch all of the Clone Wars stuff, all of the Star Wars stuff, to be fair, in chronological order, and that was a really fun experiment because we have to watch like 2 or 3 episodes of Clone Wars and then like watch a movie and then watch this. And then we'd have to stop and watch Rebels, and then we stopped and we watched The Mandalorian. It was really good. Like that was a really fun way to watch Star Wars kind of chronologically and see how things fall together. But at the end of the day, like Rebels had some really, really important moments in it, but it was wrapped in a kid's show, basically, like that was directed at like Y7. And so it's like, you're not really getting the true Star Wars universe because you don't get to see like the oppression and like the shitty, gritty conditions people are living in, which is kind of a bummer. Well, so that's the thing. Clone Wars all of a sudden got really kind of kid-friendly, and then when Disney bought them out, Disney was like, all right, finish it up, do what you're going to do. And they're like, hell yeah. And it got really dark, and it was great. And I loved it. I really, really loved it. But they dealt with all kinds of cool stuff. And I think Bad Batch continued on with that, even though it was still directed at a younger audience. And I hope that kind of influence of younger generations getting to see that universe, and then as they grow kind of understand why things were the way they were in the older movies, will lead to more content that is very much more like The Mandalorian, where people get to explore that universe in this dark, kind of shitty way that it exists. Moff Gideon is a great, great villain. I think that is very much how you should see the Empire, because we saw the Empire as the Emperor and Darth Vader, but really there's also this like basically cabal of higher level people that control an entire galaxy. Like they control entire systems. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially like after the Clone War, looking at like Solo. Solo was a good movie. I really liked Solo. Once again, more westerny, which is cool. But like that kind of showed the amount of people that were willing to try to get away from their planets by joining the Empire, like joining Starfleet, joining the Empire. That's the way to do it, and becoming stormtroopers and stuff. It's like that's an interesting thing to see. It's just like, hey, we're gonna help out your planet. Yeah, we don't really care, but we're still there. It's like, man, how do you justify that? We never got to see the settling of new systems and stuff, which I think The Mandalorian touched on a little bit with a few of the episodes they did, where you get to kind of see people expanding out, which is kind of cool. And once again, like The Expanse did that really well in some of their books, talking about different colonies and different planets and things like that. I think that was really cool. Admiral Thawne. Yeah. Thawne was interesting. I think Thawne was pretty good as a villain. I think he was a little weirdly heavy-handed. But so was Moff Gideon. Like, and I think they both did a really good job of being like, we're bringing order, but we're also kind of assholes. And it's like, okay, we get it. Cool. Yeah. So it's a little heavy-handed as a villain foil, but I think that's fine because they were younger shows. Whereas like Darth Maul through the Clone Wars series was super good because his goal was very apparent. He's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill Ben Kenobi, and let's take over a country or a planet to do that. And they're like, wait, what? He's like, don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, let's take over this criminal underground. And they're like, that seems a little excessive. He's like, no. You fucking do what I say, because I'm going to kill that guy. It's like, all right. I mean, we could just send bounty hunters after him. It's like, no. I'm going to kill him. It was so good. So good. Freaking Darth Maul's great. Human. I don't know what I'm doing anymore with hair. I think we have officially just completely deviated so hard from D&D that we might as well just start taking Star Wars. Starfinder, Spelljammers, yeah. I had a few people ask me a long time ago, like, how would you put a lightsaber into D&D? And I'm like, it's just a sword. Like, it's fine. It just does massive damage. It's a sword that does a D12 damage. Because, once again, damage is not, I chop your head off. You can get to that, but hit points work for lightsabers just like they do for everything else. Yeah. They did that already, Spelljammers, yeah. If you're on a D&D in space, we could have space werewolves. Yes. I mean, you could have lots of stuff. You could have weremoons. Cursed moons. Wasn't there a Doctor Who episode about space werewolves? Yeah, that's fair. It was, yeah. It's been a while. Someone look up Doctor Who space werewolves, and just tell me if anything pops up. Are the Squid Ship Wars the people that the GIF are fighting? Isn't everything in Doctor Who in space? Yeah, no. Actually, Nebby, there's a lot of not in space Doctor Who. Is a sapient race of werewolf-like creatures from the Doctor Who universe. There you go. I mean, Nebby, that question is vague enough that yes, everything is in space. But no, Doctor Who does take place a lot of in time. So, at what point are you on a planet versus another planet versus in space? That's just pedantic. I need to catch up on my Doctor Who. I'm like 8 seasons behind. I think I'm 2 doctors behind at this point. Excuse me. I'm just saying I want to be a werewolf or something. No one's stopping you. Do it. We would more wacky, weird, and wonderful D&D instead of more Tolkien Control-C. Check me. Is the episode... Okay, so it is Illithid's first GIF. That makes sense. I'm thinking of GIF, though. GIF and Gith are different. Are the Gith the ones with the weird nautical spaceships? Let's just get this out here. Gith look like this with their weird Thanos chins and pointy ears. GIF with, oops, why did I write it backwards? That's weird. Are hippos. And also British. Large British hippos. Just to clarify, so if people are confused. Imagine if every science fiction story used only the gray Martians and H.G. Wells. But that's what... They're actually... Pathfinder and D&D do have gray aliens, which is great. Mind Flayer's drinking tea. Is that a suggestion, or are you going to draw a Mind Flayer drinking tea? So I think I'm about done here. It's almost noon. Also, yeah, I suppose Mind Flayers could drink tea. I don't know if they need to. Do Mind Flayers have to drink water? Or do they just... Mind Flayers are pretty easy to draw. You draw a skull. Boop, boop, boop. And then squiggly bits. They only have 4 unless they're super powered. Let's give him a big collar. You're good to go. All right. Do Mind Flayers need to top off their hive mind jar pools? I think they do, yeah. Yeah, the big jars where the brains live, or pools. Basically, like, they got big brain, and they're like, hello. And then Mind Flayers kill people and throw brains in pool. They get absorbed, and I think the juice is just, produced. I don't know. I don't know how spine fluid is produced. I have no idea. I do know that the big ones, basically if they have 6 tentacles, they're too powerful, and they go and become their own giant brain. So the bodies don't seem as important as the brain goo. It's literally a werewolf ship. That's pretty funny. What was the... Was it Farscape? Farscape was the one where they were inside a giant space whale? There was way too much weird bondage shit in that show. That's all I'm going to say. There was a whole alien race based around it. Space whale. That was a cool series, though. They had some interesting ideas about some stuff. But that might be a little too philosophical right now. I think we're going to call it there. It is noon. We drew a lot of stuff. Did I miss anything? I got the Yonti, got the Kobold, got the Minotaur, Human, Artificer, Lizard Folk. No, bye. Those are Jim Henson puppets. Jim Henson puppets, I think. The Battle Dolphin. I'm pretty sure that was Jim Henson that did those. Farscape. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. I think what I'd like to do for Friday is I think I want to play some games. I think I want to play some Scribbles. There's a cool like Pictionary game we can play on Friday, and so I think we might do that in the Discord without streaming it to YouTube. So if you guys want to do that, make sure you check out the YouTube or the link down below for the Discord. Join that, and then Friday we'll stream it. Maybe we'll do it on Twitch just for fun. But otherwise, we will be on Twitch tomorrow, most likely, for a little bit. I might even be on Twitch a little later tonight, just working on some stuff. So feel free to follow that down below. Otherwise, stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you, everybody, for talking, for hanging out, digging through the Star Wars poop like we always do. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody. Skip cat, wake up. Wake up. Oh, yes. So much stretch. So much. Food time. Bye, everybody. I was wondering how you prefer doing commissions now. I heard you don't use Fiverr anymore. Yeah, just contact me on the Discord. It's the best way to do it. Bye, everyone. Fiverr is